Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamika. This is going to be the March 2020 self-care reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. I've reoriented the cards so that they are facing y'all. And for the main part of the reading, I'm using the Neo Tarot, and then for the Oracle guidance, I'm using the Sacred Traveler Oracle by Denise Lynn. So Scorpios, just off the bat, there's a ton of air energy, as you can see, coming up, starting off your reading. So definitely could be dealing with an air sign or have air prominently in your chart, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I'm also definitely, I just filmed, who was it? Cancer. Okay, so that's your water sign brethren. The Knight of Swords came up in their reading as well, and as you can see, that is the card here at the top of your reading. So definitely could be dealing with a Cancer as well, or you may just want to go check out the Cancer video and see if and how that might resonate for you. Okay, so with the Knight of Swords coming up first, I get off of this card, first and foremost, communication, okay? Either coming into you or you know, sharing some kind of communication out to another person or to other people. Knight of Swords energy, again, air energy, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, can talk sometimes about, I don't know why, but I'm getting this phrase of like looking before you leap. And when I was talking about this card in the Cancer video, I remember saying something about, it was really reminding me of like Aries Fool energy as opposed to Emperor Aries energy. Okay, so you might just, especially since we're in Mercury retrograde and Mercury is the planet that rules communication, any sort of discussions, conversations, engagements that you have, presentations, or any sort of communication that you're sending out, okay, whether it's text, emails, you know, written correspondence, whatever, just make sure that you really double check or perhaps triple check what it is that you're writing, and make sure that you're being very clear and concise in terms of your communication. I feel like there's a message here about accuracy, okay, or about really honoring and following your truth, if not explicitly telling the truth. Again, this could be someone else that you're dealing with, in which case, you know, just be aware of how the Knight of Swords energy sort of presents in terms of if this is someone coming towards you. It could be sort of very critical or harsh. You know, I think I mentioned in the Cancer reading, sort of like putting your foot in your mouth sometimes when you speak. Okay, so again, if you're dealing with someone else, just that's some energy to be aware of. And if this is you communicating, then also energy to be aware of. But obviously you have control over how it is that you communicate, whereas you don't have control over that with someone else, but you do have control over how you, you know, receive what it is that they're saying, listen to, and then of course how you respond, right? So I just want to point out here too, it comes up towards the end of the reading as well, but you do have the Knight of Cups. This is upright for y'all, coming in as well. Okay, so Knight of Cups could definitely be obviously water energy, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So there could definitely be some kind of communication here coming in, again, either to you or from you. And it could be sort of some offer or an apology here with that Knight of Cups. If it's an offer, right, it could be maybe someone propositioning you for a relationship or some kind of role with this Cups energy. And then we have the Ace of Cups finishing off the reading. It definitely is speaking to something that you are very passionate about and that is really going to fill you up. Okay, so again, whether that's a potential relationship or whether this is something, a work project or endeavor that you're working on. Okay, also potentially with someone else, right? So the next card, this card spread is read top to bottom, obviously, and then right to left. So the next card coming up is the Eight of Swords, Scorpio. Okay, so who else got this? It might have been Virgo. There's been a lot of overlap in the readings, not altogether unusual, and this is just like an aside that you guys get, but I've been noticing, like, I always film the videos based off of the number of views from the previous time, and it's always kind of random. And what I noticed though is that signs that fall just after each other, right? So like, for instance, Cancer, and then y'all fell after them this time. There's a lot of overlap there in the messages. So just one of those funny things that Spirit's doing, right? With the energies. Okay, so Eight of Swords, okay? Eight of Swords is always talking about a perceived imprisonment, okay? But it's I don't want to say necessarily self-imposed, because it definitely could be situational, or it could be related to a relationship situation or issue, right? But it has this connotation of feeling stuck or stagnant, like the figure in the cards. Look, she's completely, wound up in this braid. It's a really beautiful imagery of it. And if you notice here, the figure is standing in like a bowl of water there, okay? So definitely, to me, this is you, okay? Maybe, it could be that there's some kind of communication that you receive that sort of puts you into this Eight of Swords energy, feeling stuck or stagnant, or not really sure if or how you're going to be able to move forward with someone or something. But the key thing to take away from Eight of Swords imagery is that we can always break out of it, right? That we are not in fact stuck or stagnant. And in this reading, I'm glad that this card is coming up here for y'all in this position, okay? Because this is the self-care tip to try for this reading. So it's going to be the only self-care tip that I go into, just because I'm trying to keep these readings pretty short. If you do book a personal reading with me I do offer these self-care readings as individual readings. We'll obviously go into all of the self-care tips for you that come out in your reading. All right, so the self-care for you Scorpios says, go for a run or a fast walk, or get on wheels, just something that gets your body to speed up in a way that feels freeing. Go as hard as you safely can, letting out any tension or negative emotions that come up. This sounds easy, but if you're not very physical, you'll know that the mind can get in the way of even the most basic shows of physical strength. Notice that and try using your affirmation, okay? So the affirmation here says, I am not my thoughts, and my thoughts are not me. Ooh, I love that. So glad that the self-care tip referred to the affirmation, because again, there's a lot of air energy coming up to start out your reading, and that, to me, is an indicator that you are very much so like in your thoughts right now, okay? Again, I feel like I think it was Virgo that had this energy as well. I filmed their reading yesterday, but yeah, I'm just feeling lots and lots of air energy, and we're seeing lots of air energy come out in this reading with the Knight of Swords and then the Eight of Swords, okay? So my recommendation for sure is to take that self-care tip and to repeat that affirmation to yourself. Again, I am not my thoughts, and my thoughts are not me. Because I feel like if you start to identify with your thoughts, right, which is the affirmation is trying to guard against, if you identify with your thoughts, what I'm seeing here is the Nine of Swords imagery, right, which can speak to anxiety, or like anxious or worrisome, thoughts or energy. Sometimes it's like not being able to sleep or rest or relax, right? And so I think your guidance is really trying to make sure that you don't fall into that energy, okay? To just really guard against going into that kind of energy. All right, so your next card, which is talking about what may be stopping you here, is the Three of Swords. I'm like, do I need some water? No, I'm gonna keep going. So it's coming up reverse, which great card to have coming up in the reverse, because Three of Swords, of course, speaks to heartache, heartbreak, betrayal, just anything that sort of caused you disappointment, sadness, grief, shame, regret, etc. I'm feeling like for y'all that this is I almost said culmination. There's a lot of endings taking place for much of the collective right now. Not just Scorpios, this is like in general, but especially, I've only filmed y'all, I think, the 4th video, and endings are abounding, let's say that, okay? So with the Three of Swords coming up reverse, I feel like this is saying that what may be stopping you here is, thoughts or worries about the past, about how things may have not, necessarily worked out the way you would have liked to in the past, okay? So again, being able to sort of rise above that, or move beyond that, okay, or not getting so caught up in identifying with any of those thoughts or feelings from the past, because of course our thoughts become things. So if we're sort of worrying or ruminating on the past, anticipating that past events are, you know, going to predict future outcomes, that's exactly what we're going to beget. So there's really sort of a shift of perspective or mindset required here. I need to pause your video. I'm gonna keep going, actually. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I need to pause your video. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I also got a drink of water while I was up. Okay, so, right, 3 of Swords, again, in the reverse, that's what may be stopping you. Again, I like seeing this card come up in the reverse, but there's definitely a message here about not ruminating on the past. I'm so sorry. I have to pause your video one more time. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry, that was super annoying, huh? I actually feel like that's kind of a message. Like, there feels like, and remember, like that 3 of Swords energy, there feels like this very stop-start energy. Okay, so you could be sort of, and I feel like we picked this up in one of your other readings this year as well. I can't remember if it was January or February, but it just sort of felt like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay, so you may be sort of dealing with that right now. Just cultivate a sense of peace and patience if you can, okay, because that will really help you to deal with any delays that you might be experiencing, especially as we're still in the Mercury retrograde period through the middle of March, and then of course this shadow period, which extends for 2 weeks after it ends. Okay, so we went over the 3 of Swords, what may be stopping you here. And your next card, the 10 of Pentacles, which I love to see, is talking about how to address this. I feel like for a lot of you Scorpios, you're really focused on your work and what you're working to build here, okay? I do feel like, okay, wait, let me rephrase that, because it could be 2 things. I do feel like for some of you, your focus may be primarily work, okay? For others of you, this could also be talking about taking some sort of relationship to a new level of commitment, okay? It could be talking about an engagement, or just, you know, maybe deciding to be exclusive or something like that is what I'm feeling. Perhaps purchasing a new home, something like that. For others of you, it could be both of those things, right? So in that way, the 10 of Pentacles is really speaking to your overall, you know, it's like penultimate success and stability, comfortability. You see there's like a couple and their dog, so it feels very like homey, right? But it can also be talking about sort of building up your business, pentacle by pentacle, or really elevating your stature professionally, okay? There was, I forget, maybe it was Cancer that in the Cancer reading, where I did feel like the energy of perhaps some people getting promotions, okay, which is very exciting here. So the next card talks about what is the benefit of addressing this. And I feel like, sorry, let me just go back to the 10 of Pentacles, okay? So juxtaposed to the 3 of Swords, this is like saying, really, you know, keep your focus laser sharp on where it is that you're going, what it is that you desire and dream and hope for, as opposed to past hurts or disappointments, okay? And as you do that, what's coming up next, saying the benefit of addressing this, is the Hierophant, okay? And that is your spiritual connection, okay? And if we're talking about a couple here, right, this is saying, this is taking, again, another indicator of taking a relationship to a new level of commitment, where it's a very spiritual soulmate connection. I sometimes get like counseling off of this card, so it could be like marriage counseling or couples counseling, right? Because you have sort of that godly like presence there, and then 2 other figures just down below. It looks like he, you know, the godly or the universal presence is really guiding or speaking to the other 2 individuals, however it is that they may be involved together. Again, this could be some sort of business dealings, or even a partnership here, okay? But that's saying that the more that you focus on that outcome there that you want, the deeper and the more secure you're going to sort of feel in your connection, not just to your work or to another person, but also within yourself and your spirituality and your connection to source and to the universe. Really beautiful here, Scorpios. Super happy to see this coming out for your reading. And then your final outcome card is the Ace of Cups, right? Really having an abundance of love, of self-love, worth, self-esteem, confidence, okay? Really exuding and promoting love outwards, but that's only after we have poured into ourselves here. And it's interesting because I'm almost getting like, you go from that Eight of Swords, that little bowl of water that the figure is in, which to me is definitely representing you here, Scorpios, as a water sign, to a plethora of water there with the Ace of Cups, and the water's over exploding. And I mentioned earlier with the Knight of Cups, I very much see this Ace of Cups as being the same cup in the Knight of Cups in this reading. Okay, so again, could be someone coming towards you, making some kind of offer or opportunity, or it could also be you approaching someone else as well. So let's get into your oracle guidance now quickly. You have passion and pleasure. Savor your life, okay? Feel like you are really being called to embody an attitude of joy, of happiness, of compassion, and of peace, okay? Much easier said than done, but as you sort of work at it, okay? Similarly to the self-care tip in terms of doing that exercise, okay, and it spoke to, like, you know, those of us, which I do identify with those, that us, that side of the us, that struggles with, you know, having regular physical activity. It is a practice, right? It's like meditation, or it's like any other thing. It's like playing a musical instrument or writing, whatever the case may be, or, you know, painting, whatever, any type of creative outlet or expression. You have to continue to do it over and over and over again. And it's the same here with that Ace of Cups, right? In terms of pouring into yourself and really enjoying the life that it is that you lead now, as well as the life that you're working to create. Enjoying your life now will only help you to create and get to the life that you want all that much more quicker. That much more quickly. You guys know what I'm trying to say. My speech is still a little bit flubbed because we are in the midst of Mercury retrograde, and I actually have my Mercury in Pisces, so it's like a double whammy for me right now. Okay, so let's read the card and then I'll close the reading. Passion and pleasure. Savor your life. Okay, find joy in the moment, no matter what is occurring in your life. If you simply focus on what is splendid, wonderful, and pleasurable in the moment, everything improves. Live deliciously, love often, and live fully. Cherish your friendships. Fill your life with the people, experiences, and places that give you delight and joy. Let go of those people and things that don't appreciate or empower you. Give yourself permission to be happy. The sacred traveler wants you to know. When the traveler meets a band of gypsies, the traveler stops to dance in the early morning hours. Sometimes we get so caught up with wondering what's around the next bend and worrying about our current challenges that we forget to focus on what's great in the moment. You're not meant to simply work hard and be diligent and practical. Embrace pleasure whenever you can. Allow your senses to be satiated. Find and explore the beauty around you. You don't need to suffer to grow. You can grow spiritually by leaps and bounds through joy. Dance, eat well, and drink well. Share joy wherever you can, okay? And I really like that part of the message that was talking about you don't have to suffer to grow, right? That really reminds me of the Three of Swords, okay? Having already suffered in the past, okay? But as you can see here with that 10 of Pentacles coupled with the Hierophant, as you focus on the joy and what it is that's working and continue to build upon that, that too helps you to deepen your spiritual connection and spiritual strength, okay? We don't just have to go through trials and tribulations to elevate spiritually. Certainly that's part of it as well, but that's not all of it, okay? You also have miracles coming out here, and I haven't typically been talking about the bottom of the deck, but I just really wanted to let y'all know. Miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge, okay? So a couple things that I'm just employing, little like tips and tricks that I've been employing, right, that can sort of help speak to some of the messages coming out here in the Oracle guidance, right, with the passion and pleasure. I've been waking up every day and sort of, you know, first of all, I do a gratitude prayer. And second of all, really, I sort of imagine that I'm living in like a reality TV show or a movie, okay? And being like, how would that reality, quote unquote, shape what it is that I do, how I express myself, how I feel. Okay, so that might be something that you want to try. And in terms of miracles, you know, really expecting at any moment that miracles small and large can occur. And when you really adopt that attitude and that mindset, you will, maybe you'll be surprised, maybe you won't be surprised, right? Just how much that really comes to the fore, right? So it's really about, it's almost like mimicking, okay? It's almost like faking it till you make it a vibration until what it is that, you know, you want and what it is that's going to, that you can continue to build upon really starts to come towards you. So Scorpios, I'm going to close the reading down there. As always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so through my website, and I do offer this self-care reading as part of those personal offerings. So either way, I again thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.